Hiya, today I wanted to show you how we can do needle felting using a cookie cutter. I think a lot of people, especially this time of year, are asking how they can get into new crafts, and I think that using the cookie cutter method is a really nice way to get into the craft of needle felting. So what you need is, I've gone for a medium size, so a 38, and it's sort of that's what I was saying, it's a very sharp but barbed needle, so that means that when I start putting my roving wool in, it's going to actually sort of mat it together. Okay, now this is the type of wool that I'm going to be using, and you don't use any scissors in any way, shape or form, but you can see this one's got lots of different colours in already. The others, like this particular one, it was one solid colour and then I just added another colour over the top to kind of give it a little bit of an extra effect. Now with the stars, we've just had a nephew born, and I'm thinking it would make a nice little mobile for him, so I've got lots of different colours. So literally all you do is you shove it into your cookie cutter. Okay, so the larger the cookie cutter the better, to be honest, because you want a nice good surface area. It's difficult with the star shape because of all the very sharp points, so you can, once you started doing this, you can then come back to it. Okay, so what I've seen some people do in their videos is that they'll go all the way down, and let me just let you listen to this. That's the sound you want. What you don't want is this sound, because that will then mean that it starts going into that. So that's what you want to try to avoid. So you hold your cookie cutter nice and firmly, and myself, I hold my fleece, my wool, down in place to begin with. Okay. Now, what's good about this is that you can, the larger the cutter is, get better angles. So you don't want to just be coming at this 90 degrees the whole time. Just be careful not to poke yourself. It's more of a shock than anything. But once it is in, the good thing about this cookie cutter method is that you can just leave it and you don't have to have your fingers in there with it. Okay, so once you've got it nice and firmly in, you can then take your hands out and just go for it. Okay, so you're kind of dropping it in. Now you can get the needles for this, which are multi-needled, but I've just gone for the single. But then because of the way I'm doing it, I can flip it over. Now this particular one, I'm not going for, I'm not going for a very thick heart. This one's nice and aerated, you can see, but I could have condensed that a lot more. Now with needle felting, once you have condensed it, like this one is quite thick, you can't then loosen it, okay? Because the very act of it is that you are combining all of these different bits of fleece. So you're kind of entangling them. That's the right way of saying it. Now, what I like about this method is that you can come from the behind as well as the front, so you'll get better definition. Now, you can keep going at this for as long as you want. You can see now it's fine. What I will say is I use a metal cookie cutter because those are the cookie cutters I've got around the house. You can buy plastic ones, but you still need to be very careful of the tip of this because this is very delicate. Okay, now what's perfect about this is you can sit with this on your lap and do this while sort of half watching, half listening to television. And it is good for those of us that like to have something to do in the evenings. So I think maybe one of these hearts is going to take you about 20 minutes. Now you don't want to watch me do this for 20 minutes, so it's a bit addictive. But you can already start to see that it's getting a little bit tight and it's starting to hold its shape. Once you start doing this, you can start to feel areas that might need a little bit more fleece. And they will tend to be the outer areas, so just put a little bit more off, and then this is the beauty of it, you can just stuff it back in, and again it will all just combine as if it was part of the original. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it, just every couple of minutes, go through it and just make sure it is as thick as you want it to be everywhere you want it to be. And then you can just keep combining it like that. Like I say, I'm using a 38 needle. You can get thinner ones and you can get thicker ones, but this is a good all-rounder. Okay, and you can see it starting to sort of combine. Now, it's true to say the deeper I press, you can see the fatter that needle gets quite quickly. Therefore, the more little strands you're going to incorporate in any one time. But just turn it round. You can come at it again from this side. So you can see you're going to get quite a dense heart quite quickly. Okay, so like I say, about 20 minutes, half an hour per heart. You can make a very nice garland with these, but just be careful that you don't do that and accidentally kill the end of your needle. Okay, so keep coming at it from different angles, bounce it, don't, force it, kind of bounce it. Can you see? You just loosen it in your hand, and you can do this without too much skill. So this is a really good first needle felting project. Okay, so you'll keep doing that. Now, the one thing to bear in mind is as soon as I take that out of the shape, I can't get it back in if I'm not happy with it. So by constantly feeling it and seeing where I need to add more, you can feel where it's most dense and you'll know that it's going to be the extremities. So you can kind of force it that way a little bit, or you can just put a bit more fleece into those areas. Okay, so that's all you need to do until it gets to be about that density. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure it's all nice. I pop it out and you can then see it's got a few little bits that need tidying up. Okay, so you can just come around and you can just tidy those little bits that you couldn't possibly have got whilst it was in the mould. And at this point you can add any extra decorations you want to. You can also add a little bit of string or something at the top, and then you just put another little extra bit of fleece over the top and then you cover it up that way. But you can still work it in using the mat. You can get bigger mats as well. I've just used a small one so that you can see it more easily on the video, but you've also got a big fleece mat. But you can see how quick and easy using a cookie cutter is to make some nice needle felting fleece. If you like the video, do give us a thumbs up to let us know. Also subscribe if you want to see any more videos like this, where we look at, fun little things that you can make. The cookie cutter method is a really good one for children or beginners because you just decrease that risk of hurting yourself because you've got that in the way instead of putting it straight into your finger. Okay, well thank you very much for watching, and do subscribe to theminismallholder.com. Thank you, bye.